Sometimes when you know you're gonna cross a river or a stream, it's nice to be able to take off your shoes and walk. However, there's something that's really going on here that you can't see, is that everything in this stream, the smooth stones, is covered with algae, and it's extremely slippery. And I'm wearing hiking boots with socks on. They're merino wool socks, so they wick really well. And I know that I'm going to be in this place for the day. I have 3 hours of recording time, and I have time to set up for an entirely different subject. But I didn't bring my water shoes with me, and even if I have had, it's the same issue. It's an extremely slippery area, and I don't know if you can see it from here, but that stream on the other side coming into this, I want to go up that, and that's where I want to hang out, this remote. Where I am, there are more people. What I'm looking for is not just stones that all go the majority of the way across, but what I'm looking for is a lot of rapids. In here, close to me, there's not a lot of rapids, but over there you see farther away, there are more rapids. On that side, there are more rapids, and if you look going down, there's a place right in front of me. It's a little deeper. Farther down, there's a spot looking towards those rocks. To the right of those rocks, on this side, there are rapids, and then there's a thin spot where there are rapids, and then sort of following those stones up and in and over, I can cross relatively diagonally and see, because I'll be looking opposite the light into the shadows of how deep it is. I don't really care, but, and being that I'm going to be here for several hours, I can deposit my boots and things that need to be dried out on a rock over there, or I can bring them with me so that at least I have them going up into that hillside. Just when you get to an area and you commit, make sure that you are safe. So, 2 things that I have with me that you should have with you hiking at all times. 1, be warm enough. 2, be safe. Look at a map beforehand, and part of this is, the next piece is creating a map and knowing the weather and knowing the map and so on before you commit. Or know somebody who knows the map, or take a snapshot of the map, or take a snapshot of USGS survey of the geology of your area, which gives a pretty good map. You can pay for it too, and pay for one map. It's less than $15, I believe, because USGS is a government-funded site, and getting one map of an area you're interested in, small map, is fairly inexpensive, if it is a place that hasn't already been mapped out. Google Earth also has, you can blow up an area where you are, look at it, get some names and blow that up, and take a snapshot of that and put out your trajectory on that, as well as different layers of that. You can look at real-time layers, you can look at geological features layers, you can look at elevation lines layers, so on and so forth. There are many different ways of doing things. So as I'm looking at this, I'm looking at, yes, there's a good size river here. Right in front of me, these spots are around 1 to 3, maybe even deeper than that. Around large stones, they're much deeper. And on this side of the river, it's got more channel to it. So I'm looking for, again, a thin spot where there's more rapids in the layer, and where it dissipates a little bit more. So I'm looking down below me. Right here, yeah, not so much. And it could be that down there, maybe not so much either. I see thin spots up here, but I'm going to have to go up a ways, and maybe I'll do that. Go up a ways and then come down. But I know that going down, facing the sun, I'm not going to see rocks and shadows. I don't have a stick with me for balance. I'm actually carrying extra things, so each step has to be very conscious as I go. So instead of just plowing right in and getting screwed and having to back and then coming up with a fear, survey an area for what is the most safe way of going. Always carry water with you, because water is lovely, but it's often contaminated. This is coming from numerous sources, some of which are contaminated and some of which have dead animals in them. I saw dead animals in here in previous years as animals try and cross in the winter, slip and fall and get stuck under the ice and deteriorate. What, Luna? Yeah, there are bugs here. We're gonna go up into the woods, out of that area in a little while. Again, I have Luna with me, and she's lovely for coming down into this space. So I'm looking at going down a little bit more, and going a little bit, trying to find a shallow route across somewhere down near those big stones, but upwards of them, not in the deep space. Clearly the water is deep here and goes towards, the deeper water goes towards those stones and then crosses from this side to the other side. And why it does that is because along this passage, it's fairly straight, but it's deep on the left side. And as it comes up to this curve, it cuts from the high side to the low side, where it has ground away up against stone and deepened. And you can see a little bit of rapids looking up ahead there. And we'll just blow this up a little bit. We transition from the right side to the left side. So the deep goes from the right side, crosses over right where those large stones are, and then gets deeper on the other side. So if I can go from the deep side where it's shallow to the shallow side where it's deep and transition over across, I think we're good. We'll see how it goes.